Okay, March 1st, solving systems by graphing. First thing, um, the equation. We are still looking at y equals mx plus b. That's the equations we're going to be solving. Okay, a system is when I have two or more equations. Still losing that, aren't we? We gotta come out some. A system of equations is when I have two or more. And just a review, some of you for the last time, please write this down because you should know it by now. It should be nothing for you. What's M? Whatever number is sitting there in front of X, that's my slope, right? Okay, let's say it is a positive slope. Give me a number, a fraction, a whole number, or some kind of number that's positive. 6. Okay, so my slope is a positive 6, right? So rise over run is either 6 over 1, or how else could I make a fraction that would be a positive 6?
6 over 6?
Mm.
Negative 6 over negative.
Right? If they're both negative, it's still a positive if I'm dividing, right? Mm-hmm. So if I have 6 over 1, up 6, right 1. If I have negative 6 over negative 1, down 6 and left 1. You're going to have to do this graphing. If you can't put one line on a graph, I don't know how you're going to put more than one. So for the first time, at least, write it down. Negative. What if it's a negative slope? I need a negative slope. Somebody give me a negative one.
Negative 3 over 5.
All right. So if I have a negative 3/5, that means I'm going to have negative 3 over positive 5 or 3 over negative 5, right? All right. My rise is a negative, so that means I got to go. So down 3, 5 is a positive, so that is right 5. Or up 3 and left 5. Okay, one more thing in the review area. What's B?
Starting point.
Starter point. Good. What's another name for it?
Starter point.
Good. Starter point. Good. What's another name for it?
A whole number. The y-intercept.
Y-intercept. Wherever I cross the y-axis, right? And it's not the beginning of my line. It's just a way to get started graphing that line. All right. So if I'm going to solve it by graphing, if I'm going to solve a system by graphing, I'm going to graph both lines. My answer is where the lines cross. Okay? Graph both lines. My answer is where do those two lines cross each other? Remember last week we were talking about solutions. A solution is any point on the line, right? So if last week when we were talking about solutions being points on that line, both lines, my answer is where the lines cross. So I'm looking for that one point that's going to be on both lines. The only way one point is going to be on two lines is those two lines have to cross each other. So if I have a graph, and my two lines cross each other, let's say right there. That coordinate point, whatever that coordinate point may be, that's my answer. Okay? That's what I'm looking for, is where do those two lines intersect? That coordinate point right there is going to be my answer. For the most part, now you have three kinds of answers. Remember when we were solving equations? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. When we were solving equations, we had three different kinds of answers. We had one solution. What else did we have?
No solution.
Infinite and
No solution.
all right, same thing. Same thing for this system. We have one, none, or infinite. Now this is one solution. All right, if I have a graph, and my two lines end up something like this. Now I just told you that the solution is where the two lines cross each other, right? What kind of lines are these? So what are they never going to do? So what's my answer going to be here?
No solution.
Okay. Now if I have the third kind, so I end up graphing both lines, right? But the thing is that when I graph the second line, it turns out to be the same exact line as the first. Then I have infinite.
So they're gonna be in different colors or something?
No, but they do look different. Like when we have to change from get that y alone, or if it has to be simplified. I'm going to show you in just a. When you graph it, one is just the same as the other.
Oh, so we go graph it's not gonna already be on the table.
This is all about graphing.
Oh, I thought it was already on the table.
All right, now I want to show you a shortcut to determine if you're going to have one, none. You can find out just by looking at the equations. If I have one solution, I'm going to say y equals negative 2/3 x plus 3. And I'm going to say y equals 2x minus 4. I can look at that equation and say that's only going to have one solution. I know it's only going to have one solution because my slopes are different. Okay, look at those slopes. If m does not equal m, you know you will have one solution. So there's kind of a shortcut. You won't have to graph it if all I'm asking is how many solutions. If the slopes are different, one. Okay? All right, we're going to say that this one is y equals 1/2 x plus 3, and this one would be y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Now, how am I going to tell just by looking at the equations that there's no solution? What do you see?
It's not the same.
Okay, that's what created that parallel line, but what's not the same? Those are different, right? So if I'm looking for no solution, what I'm looking for is m is equal to m. The slopes are the same, but b does not equal b. Okay? Because sometimes on the test, that's all you're going to have to tell me is how many solutions are there. You're not going to have to tell me what, but how many. And if you look at that equation and you remember this business down here, that's going to tell you no solution. All right, let's say this third one here. We're going to say this is y equals 2x plus 3. Well, what if I gave you 4x minus 2y equals 6 as the other one? What do you got to do before you can graph an equation?
You have to solve that.
Yeah, get that y all by itself. Solve for y. So when I've been solving for y, what's always been my first step, guys? Perfect. So negative 2y equals negative 4x plus 6. Now what? I should have made that a negative 6. Ms. Graham did that wrong. Change that to a negative 6. Now what's the next step to getting that y by itself?
You have to do negative 2y, not once, but 2 times.
Divide by that negative 2 3 times. And then I get y equals 2x plus 3. So even though to start with, these two equations looked different, they ended up being the same thing, right? So that's how you end up with infinite. Not only does m equal m, but b also equals b. And that tells you you have an infinite number of solutions. Okay? So let's talk about 75. Let's look at those graphs. We got to graph 2 lines on one. So what if I graph y equals negative 2x How do I graph that one, guys? Where should I start? At 3. What are we doing?
But you wouldn't
Yes.
be in class all day.
What are you doing? Excuse me.
Ma'am? Oh, I gotta give it to Will and charge him.
Okay, we don't do that in the middle of class like that. Where is it?
I don't even know. I don't even know myself. Oh, I lost it.
World.
He ain't been in class all day. I was just in the music class. He would walk.
All right, what's my slope? Yikes, guys. So rise -2 over 1 or 2 over. So I can go down 2 and right 1 or up 2 and left 1. Now I'm going to get my straight edge.
Can't see that ruler right there?
There should be.
Somebody leave it on the 3.
Look around. Look under.
What we looking for?
If you want a straight edge.
Got a rule.
And draw your line.
Oh, they're all up there.
Well, there are some still up there, but there was several.
Here you go. Well, you just want to go to
All right, get one from up front if you still haven't found one. All right, now graph for me y equals x minus 6.
It's the first one.
On the same graph.
It's cold.
Okay.
What we doing?
Now you got to graph y equals x minus 6.
On the next graph.
Same graph. Same graph. This is a system.
So we start at -6.
And I'm trying to be a little bit tricky there. What is my slope on that one?
1 over 1.
1. So up 1, right 1.
I'm smart, cuz.
Down here at the -6.
That's a positive slope, ain't it?
Yep.
Couldn't see for real.
Up 1 and right 1.
And then down.
Okay.
1 of those.
Now, down and left gives me the same line. Yes. All right. What's my solution, guys?
It look like
What's
they say-
my x?
It look like they say 4 and negative.
Look at your paper.
I didn't get the first line.
X is 3.
It like it say.
X is 3 and y is.
-3. Oh, I'm still.
And then you're done.
Right, I'm trying to catch it.
You can reduce that to negative.
Oh my
1.
God, the second line. I'm so confused. Oh, we started with -6. Then what we do? We go up 1.
Your slope is 1.
It's positive or negative.
Positive 1.
Oh, I got it.
Now, how did we check? How did we determine if we had a solution last week? What did we have to do? 3 little words. My answer is 3 - 3. And I have y equals -2x plus 3. And I'm saying that this is my solution. 3 - 3. How do I find out?
Plug in the X and Y.
Plug it in. That's it. Plug the x into the x and the y into the y. So instead of y equals, I'm going to say
That's 4 words.
-3 equals -2 times 3 plus.
3.
So what's -2 times 3?
-6.
So -3 equals -6 plus 3. Need to get those breaks going. All right, what's -6 plus 3?
-3.
So does -3 equal -3? Check. All right, check your y equals x minus 6.
There's
Wait,
Okay, just check it. Do what? X and Y. That's your second equation. You gotta check them both.
can I tell you how to do
Mm-mm. I want you to do it on your paper. So what you got?
it? I got -3 = 9.
I think negative 3 equals negative 3. Alright, negative 5 equals negative
What's
5.
3 minus 6?
Oh, that was -6.
So -3 equals -3. True statement. I got my answer. Right? So that is one of the really cool things about Friday's test or Thursday's test. You will be able to check every answer and be 100% certain that you've turned me in 100. All right, my next system. And by the way, you knew that it was just one solution because
They had 2 different slopes.
m does not equal m, right? My slopes are not the same. I will have one solution. All right, let's try y equals a -1/2 x plus 3. And y equals 3/2 x minus 1. How much time
That's a lot of work.
do you think you'll need to get these lines on that graph?
Like 66.
Wait, what's the second equation?
3/2 x minus 1.
Is the first one the negative slope?
-1/2 x plus 3. Okay, I'm going to put 2 minutes on the timer.
We need 1. Too big. Can I tell you what the lines that we still did?
What quadrant did we end up in?
I got a 2 and 2. Oh, quadrant 1. Ain't it quadrant 1?
Hmm.
I don't know when I don't.
How many solutions?
1.
One solution
Wait, is that always
because. Hmm?
Like if it's 2 different slopes, is it always gonna be one solution?
Always.
Well, if it's the same slope, is it a possibility it can be the same solution? I mean, only one solution.
If it's the same, no. Okay. If it's same slope, it's going to be infinite or none. All right, where should I start?
Oh, and I forgot.
Okay.
I ain't writing it down.
Down 1, right 2. Up 1, left 2.
Then you started at -1.
Okay. -1 because that's my starter point.
You go up 3.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
You can go more.
I can. Okay, my solution, my one solution. X is 2 and Y is 2. X is 2 and Y is 2. All right, so we've only done a couple problems, taken some notes and done a couple problems. So just at this beginning stage, tell me, how are we at? 1, I don't know. 2, I think I'm understanding it pretty good. 3, yes, I got this. I'm pretty solid. What you think? Where are you at? Okay, good. Okay. All right. We've been graphing those lines a while. And I'm telling you on Friday's test, if you don't, Thursday, thank you. If you don't know how to graph that line, we are in a pickle because we got to get. Now, under the stream tab in your Google Classroom, every video we do is posted. Look at last week's videos, take some notes, practice. You're going to have to graph on Friday. It's not going to be about multiple choice. You're going to have to graph these equations and tell me what the solution is. Okay. Probably. When it comes to the graphing, I use a lot of Desmos. All right. We're going to try y equals 3/4 x plus 2 and y equals 3/4 x minus 3. How many solutions should we get?
One. Yeah.
None.
None. Why none?
Cause the slope are the same.
Slopes are the same, but
That's a 2 and a 3.
my y-intercepts are different. If my slopes are the same, but the y-intercept's different, it's going to be no solution. This one, I'm going to start at 2. 3/4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down. 1, 2, 3. Left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And graph that line. Now, even though I'm going to start the second one down here at -3, I'm still going to do the same rise over run, right? So that's going to give those two lines the same exact slants.
What are the slopes?
3/4.
Oh, I can't see.
Okay, parallel lines. No solution.
Wait, is it? No, it's positive.
Both of the slopes are positive, but because they will never intersect, then my answer is going to be no solution. And you know that when you look at your equations, the m's are the same, but the b's are different.
No.
All right, last one for notes. I've got y equals 3x minus 4, and I have 2y equals 6x minus 8. I'm going to start at that negative 4. What's my slope on this one?
31.
So positive, up and right. Up 3, right 1. Down 3, left 1. When I go to graph, I get that line. Now, what's wrong with graphing this one?
Have to solve it first.
My y isn't alone, is it?
Oh, so you gotta do
What step do you need to do to get my y by
Negative.
itself?
I mean, what is that negative or positive 6?
Positive 6 on the
Negative
x.
6 on both sides.
But isn't that 6x already in the right place?
Yo.
I need y by itself, so who needs to go?
2.
So I'm going to divide everybody by 2. Now I have y equals 3x minus 4.
So you can just do it like that.
So what is the deal?
So wasn't the one like on the test? Or on the quiz last week?
I don't think so, not with the same one.
No, not like the same exact. I'm saying like the X was like. In the
You
right
had to
place.
graph it, yeah.
This one's a
I rewrote that whole thing and put X at the beginning.
I don't know.
Same.
Okay, what do you see? It's the same line, right? So if I went to graph it, I would be graphing over the same.
So that's infinite, ain't it?
That's infinite. The equations do not start out looking the same, but once you simplify one or the other, you see that they are the same. M is equal to M, and B is equal to B. That tells you you have infinite solutions without having to go through the graphing. Okay? All right, let's look at the other paper I gave you. That's going to be your grade. So we're going to go through some of it. Oh, grade. So I need to write this in y equals mx plus b form.
Oh,
That means I need that y by alone.
minus 5 both sides.
Okay? Minus that 5x, minus that 5x.
Negative 4y equals negative 5x plus 12.
All right, and then
Divide all of them by negative 4. Negative 4y.
no, just the negative 4. You want the y by itself. So those are canceled, and I've got y equals.
Y equals
5 over 4. Look, no, minus 3.
Okay, what's my slope?
5 over 4.
And what is my y-intercept?
Negative 3.
You have 2 more of those to do. I'm going to tell you this. You'll have a good idea. This was the first and second page of last year's test on this. So
On the
this is
second
what
page,
your
divide.
test is going to look like.
Huh.
Hmm?
On the second, could just divide across.
Yeah, but what are you going to move first on the second one?
Mm-hmm.
The x is in the right place. What's not in the right
The
place?
equal sign.
All right, I need to know which of these, I got 3 coordinate points. Some are solutions, some are not. How do I find out? Plug them in, y for y. So instead of y equals, I'm going to write 1 equals 3 times, what's my x?
Minus 5.
All right, so what's 3 times 2?
6.
Minus 5.
1.
Does 1 equal 1?
Go.
All right, so that's one I do want. Okay, what about my second one? What am I going to write?
If it's right.
That's what it means by circle the coordinates that are solutions to the given
Can't read
equations.
directions.
I knew. What should I write for my second one?
9 equals 3 times 4 minus 5.
What's 3 times 4?
So,
Minus 5?
I think I'm like
7. Does 9 equal 7?
no.
So I don't want that one. Okay, third one down. Negative 8 equals times. Yep. Minus 5. So what's 3 times negative 1? Minus 5.
Negative 8.
Negative 8. So does negative 8 equal negative 8?
Yeah.
So I want that one. Okay. You have 2 more of those to do. All right.
What the last one say?
On the bottom. Look on the bottom. Like, the bottom of the page.
I'm not there yet. Now, the directions, even for those at the bottom, is how many. So that's what we're going to have an answer on this. If I graph these 2 equations, here's my graph. How many solutions? None.
So just put 9.
Okay. I graphed both of these, the 4x minus 2y and the y equals 2x plus 4, and I only ended up with 1 line. What does that tell me? Infinite. Good. I graphed both lines and they intersected in 1 point. Let's put the phone away.
That's not 2, is it?
How many solutions is that?
1.
All right, now my directions say if one solution, name the point. So what is that solution?
Yeah, like that's like a 2.5. It's like it's in the middle of 2 and 3.
We're just going to give it a 2, negative 2. All right, you have 2 more of those. You're going to have to get your y's alone on here and look at them and look at your notes. M equals M, B equals B, find out that stuff. You can tell by the equation. So flip over. You've got 3 on the back, ma'am. Which one you want to do? 12, 13, or 14?
No, 14.
13?
14. 14.
Start with the graph on 13. Where are we going to start?
Negative 4.
Okay. My starter point is always that end number. Negative 4. What's my slope?
104.
So up 1, right 4. Down 1, left 4. I'll get my line on there.
We don't got a ruler at home. We just go do all this.
But your best better be straight.
I can't
Looks
just
like I
draw
put
a
in
straight
for
line in this guy.
Get a little note card.
Need a book.
I don't
Ain't got
really
no
do it.
book.
It ain't no book.
Find a way. Find a way. How about
Just rip the whole
what?
thing.
Negative 1/2 minus 4.
-4.
Still gonna start. Well, I know my answer now, don't I? Down 1, right 2, because it's a negative. Up 1, left 2.
Our answer. Never mind.
All right, I have one solution.
0 and -2.
What is that solution? 0, -4. All right, what does this say right here underneath the graph?
Check your solution.
So I need y equals 1/4 x minus 4.
-4 equals 1/4 times 0 minus 4.
Okay, so what's 1/4 times 0?
0.
So -4 equals -4.
Huh.
Check. Okay, y equals -1/2 x minus 4.
I can't see it.
Same thing.
-4 equals. I don't know what they say.
-1/2 times 0.
That's not any glasses for real.
So -4 equals -4.
That's
And
the solution.
check. Right?
Yeah.
All right. You still have 8 problems to work on.
What time it is?
That's our homework. That's our homework.
34.
Dang.
So you got 15.
I want to do this study tomorrow.
You're going to work on it now.
Mr. Graham, can you flip it over so I can finish writing it down?
You can do it with it.
Okay. Mouse are closed and you are on task, please.
Right.